higher than among whites. The survey was compiled with the use of Stats SA data. There are growing calls for more private sector participation in infrastructure projects on the continent. This emerged at the Infrastructure Africa Business Forum in Sandton, Johannesburg. Some delegates say it'll make doing business easier and cheaper on the continent.
It's the biggest infrastructure meeting on the continent. And some delegates here at the Infrastructure Africa Business Forum say governments shouldn't monopolize the space. They want the private sector to be given an opportunity to invest in projects like building roads and power stations. Zambia's finance minister says moving goods around Africa costs about 200% more than in developed countries. In South Africa, it's about 40%.
And we think political will, decisive leadership, political leadership is important in order to attract investment in infrastructure. So you either reform or perish. Zambia has chosen to reform.
Infrastructure inefficiencies cost the African continent billions of dollars every year and hamper economic growth and trade. Africa needs an annual investment of $93 billion towards infrastructure, and yet, year after year, there are shortfalls. South Africa's Trade and Industry Minister says it's crucial that the private sector invests in projects where there's little profit to be made.
If we have infrastructure which is only that which is the most profitable, we may not find infrastructure which does what we need to do, connect up our economies in advance of the industrialization and real market opportunities. So the public driving of the infrastructure is critical, but how does the private sector fit into that?
Day 2 of the forum will look at topics like potential investment in South Sudan. Demakazole Shoro, Johannesburg.
Thank you very much.
A stronger rand, a tax lawsuit and labour unrest have knocked Sasol's full-year earnings. The South African petrochemicals headline earnings was down 15% for the year ending June. However, Sasol says the 43% growth in after-tax profit to 21.5 billion rand is in line with its forecast. The company undertook the construction of Lake Charles Chemical Plant in North America, which will result in cost savings for the group. The project, set to cost an estimated $11 billion, is now almost 75% complete. Dividends for shareholders were slashed from R9.10 a share to R7.80 a share.